Hello everyone, this is Jaden Noble back at it again with another video. I hope you all are having a great Easter weekend. I hope you all are enjoying time with family and remembering the death and resurrection of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ on this beautiful Easter weekend. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about whether I think the Morgan silver dollar is overrated or not. I think this seems to come up a lot because it is a very popular series. But I just want to give my take on what I think about the Morgan Silver Dollar series and whether it's really an overrated series or is it well justified, the popularity of it. And in my opinion, I don't think it is an overrated series, and I will go through all the reasons why I think that is the case. But there are a few areas where I think it not exactly overrated, but there's some reasons why I think there are some areas where you could see why you could think it's overrated. But the reasons why I don't think it is overrated is because it is a very iconic series. It has a very simple but elegant design. Let's use the proof here. With Lady Liberty, I really do like the design. It's simple. It's not too flashy. It's not over the top. It's a very nice eagle design. The eagle's not too big. It's not too small. It's just a very classic design. They did a great job with this design overall. And some people don't like this design, and I don't blame you. Some people love this design. I like the design a lot. Is it my favorite design? No, but it is definitely probably in my top three. I like that it's not over the top. It's simple yet elegant design, but that's not even the main reason why I think this series is not overrated. It's mainly because there's so many different areas that you can collect in this one series. I think it has the most variety out of any series of coin you can collect. And I kind of want to explain that. So during the time of the Morgan Silver Dollar was probably the peak of U.S. mintage of coins. You had four major mints that were minting coins during this time, which this is really the only time in U.S. history where we had four major mints minting coins. And they all came from Philadelphia, New Orleans, San Francisco, and Carson City. And actually even later, they did include the Denver Mint with the 1921 D, so you can even count that one in. So you technically had five major mints, which is, we only have three major mints now. So, and it did include the Denver, so I can't include that one as well. But during this time, you had the gold and silver rush. So the Carson City Mint was going strong, and this one, the Morgan Silver Dollar was minted for 13 years from Carson City. And compared to other designs, the Carson Cities are actually some of the more affordable ones are in the Morgan Silver Dollar series, because you have the 82, 83, and 84 Carson Cities that had kind of higher mintage. So you had some with higher mintage, so you can buy one in even uncirculated condition for around that $300 mark, which is fairly affordable, but you can actually buy some of these in more heavily circulated condition like this. Some of the more common dates like the 1890 and some of the others for around $100 to $150. So that's definitely cheap in terms of Carson City coinage, and it's on a very classic design. So that's really another reason why I think this is definitely not an overrated series, because you can buy pretty much any mint mark and they can be affordable. The New Orleans, they minted a ton of them. 1885, this is 1885 Philadelphia, but the O mint, they're super cheap. You can get them for like melt value around $30, $25, $30 in heavily circulated condition. And then another big thing is not just the variety in the mint marks, but variety in finishes of the coin. And what I mean by finishes is this is really the only series where they have proof-like and deep mirror proof-like examples in pretty much every single date. look at this one, guys. And the 1880S is the best example. 1881 and 1880S, and even 1879S. The San Francisco Mint at the time did a very good job at minting these, and they really polished the dies well. But look at the proof-like design on this. It literally looks like a proof. And you can get these coins for surprisingly pretty affordable prices. Obviously, if you go the deep mirror proof-like, it is going to be more expensive. You're going to be looking at like that $400 to $500 range for a coin like this. But you can get them in the proof-like finish for, one to about $150 to $200 for the more common dates in like MS63 range. But this is really the only design that I can think of that has proof-like and deep mirror proof-like examples in pretty much any of the dates. It's pretty rare to see that. And that they can be very affordable. Some years are obviously going to be more expensive, but overall you can get a proof-like, you could literally put together a full set of every date and mint mark with a proof-like example. That's really cool. And then also toning. For anyone who enjoys toning, Morgans have some of the best toning out of any coinage that the United States has minted. This one has a really nice toning. It's not extremely rainbow toned, but it's also an MS67. But these coins can have extremely nice toning, and you can literally collect pretty much any date and mint mark. You could put a full tone set together too. Not only that, but they do have a proof example. If you really want to get into the high end range, they have a proof for every year during this time, which a lot of other designs did have this, but that's still another cool reason to collect this series. But it's just nice to know that pretty much you can get these coins at a very affordable price in almost any mint mark, unless if you go into the key dates. And this is the one gripe I have about the Morgan Silver Dollar Series, is that the key dates I feel like are a little bit overpriced, but there's a reason why they're overpriced. It's because of the supply and demand. These are in high demand, and the reason why is because there's a low barrier entry to get into the Morgan Dollar Series, because you can buy these coins for a little bit over spot price, silver spot price. You can buy these coins for $30. The common dates, your 1880S is like your 1881S. So you can get these in mint state, the common dates, for $40, $50, $60. They're very affordable. So people get into this series and they'll start off with the common dates, and then they'll work their way up. And then once they get into those key dates and they got to complete the set, well, there aren't that many of them left. Like the 1893S, there's only about just under 10,000 known. So to get one of those, you're looking at a minimum of about $3,000 to $4,000. And there are a lot of other coins, like especially in the seeded dollar series, where they are much cheaper for coins that are even more rare than an 1893S. But the barrier to entry into the seeded dollar series is much higher. So there's a lot less people collecting the seeded dollar series than there are the Morgan Silver Dollar Series. And through your guys' comments, I've understood that more, and it makes a lot of sense. So once you get into the key dates like this Carson City, this is the key date, 1889 Carson City. So like in this VG8, this coin's still worth over $1,000 just because it's the key date, the Carson City series. So that's really another reason why I think it's really not an overrated series. And I like that there's a lot of subsets that you can collect, like the Carson City Morgan Dollar Series. If you don't want to collect the full series, you can collect a subset, and it's a 13 coin series. It goes from 1878 through 1893, but there were about I think there was like 4 or 5 years where they did not mint in the Carson City. They didn't mint the Morgan Silver Dollar in the Carson City, but it's a very cool set to complete, and they're all going to be rare coins that are higher value, but they are really, you can get really unique examples. Like you can get proof likes on the Carson City. You can even get deep mirror proof likes, which is really cool. And that's what I'm saying. You can get so many different finishes. You can get toners. You can get them in almost any of these, even Carson Cities. I have a rainbow tone Carson City. All of the different mints. They toned well. A lot of them proof liked and deep mirror proof liked because they polish the dies very well. There's just a lot of good reasons to collect the Morgan silver dollar, and why I definitely don't think it's overrated. And I think if you are just getting into coin collecting, I think this is a good step to really up your game into coin collecting for an affordable price. Do I think you need to complete the full series? No, I actually have no desire to complete the full series myself. There's a lot of coins in there, but I don't really like collecting a lot of the really common date stuff. But you can collect a lot of the semi-key date as well in there they're a little bit more affordable, but a little bit hard to get. And you can collect higher grades, MS67s. They came really well struck, a lot of these coins. You can even get MS68s, and there is a such thing as MS69, but those are almost unheard of. And there's one other thing about the Morgan Silver Dollar series, is that there's a lot of VAMs in different varieties of coins. And I have not gotten into the VAMs very much, but that it's really good for people who like to cherry pick through different dates. There are certain dates that have a lot more VAMs than others. The 1878, I know, has a ton of VAMs the first year of the set. There's a lot of cool VAMs to look out for, and some of them are worth a lot of money and are really unique. So there's just so much to collect in just one series. I have not found another series that has this much to collect. Different types of coins, different finishes, different tones, different mint marks. I mean, it's just crazy to think about just how much you can collect in one series. And that's why I think you guys should collect it. But I'd love to know your thoughts below. Do you think that the Morgan Silver Dollar series is overrated? I really don't think it is. I mean, as you can complain about the price, and if you don't like the design, that's up to you. I think it's a really good design. I think it's not over the top. It's a very simple, elegant design that really shows off Lady Liberty well. But I'd love to hear your feedback in the comments below, and I'll talk to you again soon. Thanks. Bye.